Hey guys, Moose here. It is time for a long overdue video. We hit 500 subs a couple weeks ago. I meant to make a video about it, but I just haven't had a chance, and I'll talk a little bit more about why that is later. Been pretty busy, but for now, let's go over some interesting facts about the channel. This is a little circle jerky. This is mainly me, and I'm enjoying figuring these numbers out and looking at it, so if you're not interested, well, I don't know why you'd be watching this video in the first place, but anyway, it's generally kind of a thank you for helping me get to this point, because every single view contributes to this, and it's a big deal. So, the channel, I also kind of wanted to delay making this video a little bit because of a number of factors. One, right after we got 500 subs, we also got 100,000 views. So we're at, actually I should pull it up, we're at like 110,000 views right now, I think. I'll pull that up real quick, but while that's loading, the channel kind of officially kicked off on June 27th of last year, so we had it's 1 year and 12 days old as of today. We've made 781 videos, 558 subs, I think, right now. 568. I underestimated it. Yeah. Oh no, it was less views than I thought. It's 102,000, so that's still plenty. It's a significant benchmark that's worth noticing there, but actually I totally did the math. No, I didn't do the math wrong for that. Okay, so yeah, year and 12 days old for the channel, 781 videos, that's about 2.1 videos a day. 676 gigs total of content. I'm a little surprised it's that low, to be honest. I thought it'd be way higher. I may have not counted something, but I think that's all of it. That's 306 hours of content, not counting streams, and that's kind of, I've averaged that out a bit. It may be off slightly, but I think 306 hours is accurate. So that, let me just do some quick math here. That is, if I do, is that, no, that's not going to be right. 306 divided by 781 times 60, it's about 23 minutes per episode. Times 2 is about 50 minutes of content every day for over a year now. Kind of crazy. It's been a crazy ride. Kind of instant replay of the whole year. Started out pretty slow. Kind of got some traction early. Got a little bit lucky. Stonehearth worked out real well for us for a while. But that started kind of grading a bit. We pretty much did everything we could in the game, but the views kept coming. And if you're a small channel, you can't just say, well, just stop doing it. You have to keep doing it. If that's the only source of traffic on the channel, you can't just abandon it. So Stonehearth probably was the biggest factor. Maybe until now, I think Life is Feudal Forest Village has definitely overtaken it as far as overall impact, but relative impact based on kind of the channel's age at the time, I think Stonehearth was probably bigger for the channel. But as I alluded to there, Life is Feudal Forest Village is responsible probably directly for at least 200 of our subs, probably maybe even 300, and literally the only reason we got 500 subs. If it hadn't come out and hadn't generated so much traffic to the channel, there is zero chance that we'd even be having this. I wouldn't be making this video. I would still be under 400 probably. So I hope all you guys who came over because of Life is Feudal Forest Village enjoy the content. I'm hoping to kind of give you more of that kind of stuff. That series isn't going anywhere, and we got a lot of stuff we can still do in it, thankfully, unlike we had in the Stonehearth series. And I am always looking for more games like that, but I think that game doesn't come around much, really, which is probably why it worked out, because it's fairly niche, but it's also still really good, and I would say fairly popular. A lot of people know Banished, and Life is Feudal Forest Village is like Banished +1. So it's reasonable to say that that's a pretty major title, even if it's definitely niche and not something that's going to be talked about in a lot of different places. So it was a really good opportunity for me to kind of get myself out there a little bit more. Whereas a lot of the other games I have, it's tough to find something that's not going to make me want to punch my monitor when I play it because it's buggy and as shit, but is also relatively unknown enough for me to actually get out there with it. So I'm looking for a lot of stuff right in that kind of category. Right now it's a little bit barren. You may have noticed things have kind of slowed down on the channel. That's partially because of the life circumstances going on right now, which again I'll talk about in a minute. But a lot of it's just there's not really a hell of a lot going on right now. There's not that many games coming out. We got some coming up now. Final Fantasy 12 Remastered or whatever they're calling it is coming out shortly. I'm going to probably play that on stream. Pyre's coming out as well. I fully expect to do a YouTube series on that and probably stream content too. I have a good friend who I stream with sometimes who really loves Bastion, and he's gonna love this game, I'm sure. I think he already pre-ordered it. I definitely did as well, so it should be fun to try that out and see how it is. But that's not until the 25th, I think, so we got most of the month left until that shows up. And then after that, heading into the Christmas season, towards the beginning of fall and into winter proper, there's going to be a lot more coming. So at the moment, it's a little bit tough. There's not too much to play. There's stuff I could be doing that I'm not, and that kind of more gets chalked up to the life situation, which basically there's nothing really specific. I'm just sort of hitting a point with my day job where it's just, I'm very patient and I have a very good work ethic, and you can probably look, I put up about an hour of content every day for a year while working a full-time job that has me doing more than a full-time's worth of work, more than 40 hours of work per week, and that's not a small task. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back by saying that. I'm just like, please understand, this shit doesn't come from nowhere. There's a lot of work that goes into making these videos and putting it all up, even if it seems like I'm just start recording and start talking. It is that to an extent, but there's a lot more to it, and it generates stress. And point is, it hasn't been easy, and work getting worse doesn't really help that. And I'm also kind of at a point where I really need to start studying and pass a couple tests for a certification that I'm working on. I'm going to have classes for that again soon, actually, which is going to be even more stressful. But maybe it'll force me to manage my time better, and it will give me something that I can use to push back at work and say, look, I don't have time for this. You need to deal with it yourself. Part of the stuff that's frustrating me in life is work. There's a group that basically has been blaming a lot of stuff on my team, and it's not really accurate, but by blaming it on us, he's somehow made it our responsibility to prove that it's not our fault. So now I have to do a bunch of extra work to do data analysis that his team is supposed to be responsible for in the first place, just to prove his bullshit wrong. And it's stressful, and you may think, oh, well, data doesn't lie. It's very simple, but data does lie, and you can twist it any way you like. So it's not as cut and dry as just showing like, hey, this guy's lying, fire him. It doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, it's a lot more complex, and there's politics and bullshit. It's just really, there's a lot of bullshit and stress going on there, but things may be getting better kind of soon. Girlfriend's got a really tough job, but we're working on trying to get her a better job that pays her what she's worth and also doesn't kill her. Working at her current job is really stressful. So I want to try and help get her out of that. That's contributing it to it as well. And some non-specific or things that I don't want to get into, health issues that are not really threatening in any way. It's just kind of stuff that I have to work at and keep going to the doctor, keep getting blood work done so that it doesn't become an issue later. So just a lot of stress right now. So bottom line, what that means for the channel, I would say probably you're going to see about the same amount of content we have right now for a little while. I'm trying to get Dead Cells in there a little bit more. The problem is it's like an hour per video if it goes well, and it's really, if I either feel like I need to make an hour-long video for it to be good content because then I'm actually getting into the meat of the game, or I do like a 20-minute video where I die repeatedly. And I'm not really happy with either of those because an hour is too fucking long for one video, and 20 minutes and failing to play the game correctly is not really viable either. So I'm really in a tough spot with that one. And that's kind of the main option I have to kind of slot in and say, hey, I only have one video today. Let's put another one in there. So you might see more days than usual right now that only have one video going up, and I apologize for that, but that's just kind of the nature of the situation that we're in at the moment. That will probably change within a month, maybe even within a week or two. I just don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing about that just yet. So yeah, anyway, that's pretty much all that I had on my mind. I really appreciate, I know I haven't said thank you very much in this video, and this really is a thank you video. I'm more kind of providing information, but thank you all very much for subscribing to the channel, and even if you don't, just watching, because you know, I've talked a lot about the issues that I have right now, and a lot of the stress is like, oh, you know, all this effort and work put in to make videos and deal with my day job and health and girlfriend's issues and everything. But at the end of the day, knowing that, you know, hey, I'm putting in the work to do these videos, but there's people enjoy this and they like it, and a lot of the time you guys leave positive comments and ask questions and stuff. That's not something that I'm used to having. I'm always an introvert. I've always been an introvert. I don't really ever get that kind of validation anywhere else. So I really wanted to make sure that I very sincerely thank you guys for this, because it's not as simple as just saying, oh, it's a number, check a box, and that's it. And it's not a question of saying, oh, well, that 500 subs is worth however much money in ad revenue. It's not about that. It's a psychological thing that it really puts me in a position where I have a lot more confidence speaking and interacting with people, where I may not have had that confidence in the past and may not have been as confident in myself in general. So even though it may not seem like a lot, and it's, you know, hey, I'm a small channel, I'm really a nobody on YouTube and Twitch, but it matters, and I really appreciate it. You guys have showed a lot of support, and this is evidence of that, so thank you very much. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything that was on my mind. If you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to post them in the comments. I can't guarantee a reply. There's some stuff that I don't really have a workable reply to, honestly, or I may not get to it, but I will do my best to answer any questions you guys have. So feel free to leave a comment if you would like, or not if you'd prefer not to. That is fine as well. So, like I was saying, thank you very much. This is obviously cannot happen without you guys watching the videos, so I really appreciate your viewership. And I really appreciate it if you come back and keep watching, because the first click is easy. You can always get someone to click the first time. It's, you know, that is the nature of clickbait. What really matters, I think, is when you can get people to come back. And that's a really validating feeling, like I was saying, that if I'm doing something good enough to get people to come back here and keep wanting to see more, that's a pretty big deal to me. So thank you very much. Anyway, that's all I got. So I will hopefully see you in some other videos. Take care, guys.